So there's something that I want to talk about that I don't think people talk about enough. And it's why it's important that you prove yourself wrong. I've been working on a game for quite some time. When I got it to a certain point where I felt I was ready to share it, things didn't go exactly as planned. Over the course of kind of developing the game and moving along, I feel like I keep on running into people who tell me I can't for whatever reason. Maybe it's an aspect of the game, a small mechanic, the way it's presented. It could be on any level, but I keep on hearing this like, you can't, that'll never work. One of the things that I hear I can't on is the fact that I want to do everything completely in-house. Now, the standard process for creating a tabletop game is you end up outsourcing most of it. Either a publisher takes control over kind of the IP and develops it the rest of the way for you, or you reach out to manufacturers to get it mass produced and then you package and sell it. I want to do things differently with my game. I want to do it all in-house. That means it's going to take me a lot longer to really ramp up and get going, but it's just a personal goal of mine. And that's something I hear people say, you can't. Like, you can't do it that way. It's not cost effective. It's not a smart way to run a business. It's not this, it's not that. Another thing is how I want to treat my employees when I hire them, because I cannot launch this game without eventually building a company around it and hiring people to help me. And for instance, one of the things I want to do is incremental raises. Essentially, every pay period, your pay goes up. The longer you work for the company, the more money you ultimately make. Same thing with skill-based raises. Anytime you learn a skill that is valuable to my company, say I train you how to do something that you didn't know how to do when you started the job, guess what? You get a small bump in pay. And all of these raises are, on the grand scheme of things, they are small bumps in pay, but they are consistent. And the more you invest in the company, the more time you spend at the company, the more money you're going to make. Because I want to show you that I appreciate you investing your life, your time, your energy, your skills into what I'm creating and what you are helping to create. That's something I hear people say, you can't do that. That's not a smart way to run a business. It's not about being smart. It's about having a vision, pursuing that vision. And if this ultimately fails, I need to see it through. And that's what I want to explain in this video, is the importance of that. The importance of you being the one to prove yourself wrong. When you are setting out to accomplish something, there will always be people who tell you you can't. There are always going to be people who say, that's the wrong way to do it. That's not the smart way to do it. I just don't like the way you're doing it. There's always going to be those people. But if you listen to them and you say, oh no, you're right, I won't. I'm just not going to do it this way. That's the only time you ever really fail. If you see something through to the end and it doesn't work, you're going to learn a whole lot more than if you just listen to people who tell you you can't and you stop before you're finished. There's this really great meme. It's a picture of the Mona Lisa, and written all around and all over the Mona Lisa are all these suggestions and critiques. You know, can we make it brighter and happier? And can we make it more exciting and put fireworks in the background and that type of stuff? And it's a really great meme because it proves a very strong point. The Mona Lisa, by today's standards, is considered a masterpiece. Had Da Vinci submitted the Mona Lisa as a first draft and received all of these different critiques or similar types of critiques and suggestions, then the Mona Lisa would have turned into something that would have likely been nothing of significance. It would have been another mediocre painting. So luckily, Da Vinci didn't submit the Mona Lisa for a whole bunch of critiques and renditions, and we ended up with the masterpiece that we have today. But that's the point I'm trying to make, is sometimes you have to follow through with whatever you're doing and just make it the best finished product you possibly can, and the closest in adherence to your vision that you have. Because if you set out to prove yourself wrong, you might just prove yourself right.